Jeff, now you're a kind of pioneer of MOOC. What is MOOC?
MOOC, MOOCs are massive open online courses, or online open courses. It doesn't really matter which way around you do it. And MOOCs have emerged really from, to some degree, what Martin's talked about, the idea that one can actually put materials online and can structure them and make them useful. So the M stands for massive, massive meaning enrolments of tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of learners. Open, because there's no selectivity, anybody can join. Online, because they are fully online. And C, importantly, because they are courses and they are designed to be taken. Can I put my slides up?
By all means, yes.
Yeah.
I think you just click.
Yes, click on and they should arrive.
We're in. Right. Okay. Let's move forward. That's me. One of the things that...
My hair is getting in the way.
Well, you can have this seat and I'll walk around. Okay. One of the things that I think often puzzles people who sit outside any industry or any sector is that occasionally you get this mega spike in the media and they go, whoa, where did that come from? Whereas to those inside the sector, it isn't necessarily that surprising. And so that's why I wanted to put these three things out, which describe what we're doing at Edinburgh. And although inevitably, because I'm standing here at Google, I would say that we're ahead of the pack, actually are very similar to the things that universities worldwide are doing. The great majority of what they do is about the addition of technology, the infusion of technology through standard undergraduate curricula. Although if it's 20 years since you were at university, you might be surprised how much technology there is. And if you're an old git like me, having done it decades ago, you might be very, very surprised about how much there is. And that's not just the stuff we provide, it's the stuff that the students bring and use themselves. Okay, and that's the majority. And then the next one, and all of that is taught, the next one then is online and off campus. In other words, what I've called here online distance learning. And that's the fully taught course. You'd be conscious of that, I guess, from the open universities and things like that. And the last one, which is where massive open online courses, but actually where open educational resources, which is essentially what Martin was showing you, materials that you can use for learning, where informal learning takes place, they are online and there is no campus. So there is not a structure in it. Okay, I'll just step really quickly through these slides. The critical thing from a university perspective is that all the things you do, and this is true for us, all the things you do need to be quality controlled and managed. So, really fast, you have to have a reason why you do anything in a business space. Our e-learning, that is the infusion of technology into on campus, is actually about flexing the curricula, producing 21st century curricula, but it's also, particularly in the context we're talking about here, about ensuring that students leave with the skills of understanding how to learn and interact online. It's an important part of being a graduate. Open distance learning is about reaching people who, for one reason or another, cannot come to campus. Massive open online courses, open resources, are about reaching anybody in the world who is interested. And there's a strong parallel there with the very, very many people who study evening courses and classes of different sorts. But the critical difference down the right-hand side is that for a university like this, in e-learning standard classes, we are highly selective and we charge serious money. And you get the full services of the university. If you take a taught online course, again, selective entry, full fee. But when you step into the massive open online courses space, anybody can join, and it is for free. But you don't get taught, and you do not get access to the university's facilities. So what's a MOOC? There you are. We've got 200,000 people enrolled for the 6 courses that we launch in the autumn. One of those, and I'll maybe skip quickly forward to it for time. One of those indeed sits in the area that we've been talking about here, which is about developing skills. So many of these courses are indeed about the kinds of skills that people would like to acquire. But the great thing here is you don't need to have an A level to do it. If you decide you wish to take our AI planning course, You can sign up, you can try it, and you do it. And so there are examples, many examples of people taking these courses who are actually kids. And there are examples of old people taking them. There are no restrictions placed on you as to what you do. I've got a lot of text on that. I think, are the slides available to everybody afterwards? Yeah?
I think so.
Do we know? All right, okay, fine. So you can sense read it at leisure. You will see a lot of stuff in the literature about universities going into this area and the end of the higher education business model as we know it. And so I've summarised on there what are my views about that. And the answer is that entering this space is not of itself going to change the way higher education takes place. It's not the start of free degrees online, but it is about a breaking and a flexing and the ability of learners probably to increasingly decide where they take their courses from, when they take their courses from, and how fast they take them. And as the pressure comes on universities and as cost comes on students, the driver to find these new ways of flexing the curricula will increase on all of us. To my mind, universities that, in a sense, don't engage with this have got their eyes closed to the future.
Great. Thank you very much indeed. Take a seat. Just to follow up on...
Call together?
What?
Just to follow up on that thought, I mean, university organisations are under financial pressure. They need students to pay thousands of pounds to keep them going. The Chinese student who might have come and spent thousands of pounds at Edinburgh University no longer needs to. Aren't you cutting your own throats?
No, you're not. The critical thing about the massive online courses that one actually has to remember, despite what you see in the media, is these are not degrees. These are courses. All of these courses sit at entry to university level. And they do not constitute a programme of study. Indeed, if you look at them, in a sense, they're an eclectic collection of the things that people wish to experiment with. So this is an experimental space for education. But they are not programmes of study. So if you find a single course here, you will not find another course that articulates with it necessarily. So if you wish to have a degree, you will have to go to an institution that provides degrees, whether you go online or whether you go to the campus. And in all instances of that, unless your country pays for you, you will pay fees. Right. Of course, you could go to a European country that doesn't charge international students for education, and that's a separate question. But if you go to a country that charges fees, you will need to pay to get a degree.
Okay.